back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another Sunday chat. I'm double fisting it with a glass of water and a shot of espresso, and I literally just took 2 shots of pre-workout. You're probably like, Angela, what the F-U-C-K? I have to do my run on the treadmill because it's raining outside and it doesn't stop until 11, and I don't want to wait until 11 to do my run. I just cannot. So because I'm so uninspired by everything, which is what this Sunday chat is about, I gotta give myself a super boost. So I'm finna be supercharged, be on that treadmill like this. Anyway, I just woke up this morning with a strong urge to just air grievances. But obviously it's like 7, it ain't even 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday to be calling my friends who work just as hard as I do throughout the week or whatever. And also I just feel like this is a more appropriate outlet to sort of rant about the outlet itself, as opposed to like calling my friends to rant about stuff that they don't really care about. Not that they don't care about my successes, you know, my social media, whatever I got going on. It's just that you know, my friends are barely on the internet. My friends are barely on the internet. So it's like, you know, it's not their thing. Like, not everything is going to be your friend's thing, right? Which is why I tend to have an aversion to people who are like, if your friends don't, so like, you know, they automatically make their family and friends their like target audience of whatever they're doing, especially if it's something online, like their posts, and you're not even doing anything worth nothing. You just posted like a picture of your vacation trip, and you mad because your friends, like, you know what I'm saying? If you have friends like mine, they don't spend as much time online as I do. So anyway, I just opened my camera and I was like, let me talk to my people, because I'm just feeling particularly frustrated just with the internet as a whole. Like, I'm not, and it's crazy because I've been on TikTok. If you're not familiar with TikTok, when you are friends with people, you're considered mutual. So like if I were to post something friends only, it would only go to those people that you're like mutuals with, aka friends with. And a lot of my mutuals, some big creators, some smaller, whatever, a lot of them, I've seen a lot of these videos coming through the close friends of people just being absolutely just like, what are we doing? Like, what is the purpose? And I wouldn't say comforting, because it's I don't find comfort in seeing people feeling like they're flailing and like things aren't working out for them. But you know, I'm happy to know that it's just not me, right? But a lot of it, like, I don't particularly like the internet in the way that I exist on it in an effort to do this, you know, whatever this is. I would not call myself an influencer because I don't sell anything. I don't sell you clothes, I don't sell you shoes, I don't sell you makeup. Content creator, I guess, right? Where the content is literally just me being me. Like, I don't make content, right? I don't create content. I just sort of like live my life and like share that with y'all. And I've always existed on the internet like that. I've always, as long as the internet has been the internet, since back in Black Planet, the way that you see me exist on the internet, right? Not exactly, because we wasn't like making videos and talking to the camera, but the way, you know, sharing my outfits and sharing pictures of cute little cups and my surroundings and, you know, that type of stuff, like, you know, vibe. I've always had like a vibey existence on the internet before it was a thing that you can monetize. And so for a long time, my friends would be like, you need to try, you need to do influencing, you need to do influencing, you need to, and I'm like, you know, why? Like, I've always existed, and they're like, people are making millions purposely creating a persona out of things that you normally do. You should be on the internet. And so during the pandemic, I'm like, I don't got nothing else to do. And that wasn't the first time that I tried. So let me be clear. Like, every time that I've tried to do this thing, I quit, because it started making me exist online in a way that I'm uncomfortable with. Looking for validation from people through numbers, through views, through, you know, you know, that followers, that type of stuff. And I've just never been that type of person in my life. You know, I've talked about before how I was always in the popular crowd. I wouldn't necessarily call myself like the popular person. I was the sleeper is what I would call myself, where people would be like, I know her, she be with so and so, but I don't really know much about her. I know she fly, I know, you know what I'm saying, I know she cool, you know, I know that type of stuff, but like as far as like the ins and outs, I don't know, she just kind of be around. So that's that has kind of always been like my thing. My friends have always been the cheerleaders, or dated the athletes, or, you know, been super popular, or, you know, wore all the latest clothes. I always had like a very unique Angela style. And here's the thing, I am a very silly, goofy, funny person. As y'all know me, if you're ever like on one of my lives or whatever, then you know I am just ridiculous. I am very much my daddy's daughter. But my public, like if you ask people in high school or even in college, a lot of people are surprised. Like I get people that I went to high school with, I went to college with, they'll DM me after they like catch a live, or people that I've worked with like early in my career. Like I have some coworkers from like my first job in my career that'll like hop in some of my lives or whatever, and they be like, girl, I barely heard you say 2 words. Like it's crazy to see like this big personality come out of you, because you just, you know, I've always just been very, with my friends I've always been like that, right? But in other spaces I've sort of been a little bit reserved and things like that. And I've come out of that. Like I've completely come out of that, where what you see is what you get within reason. Like at work, I'm, you know, the funny one on the team. I'm always gonna crack a joke. You know, I'm myself. I feel comfortable with being myself in every situation. So as I get older, it's more of like what you see, what you get. My confidence is fairly unshakable. Like I'm not saying that I don't have any insecurities, surface ones and like internal ones. I do, right? But for the most part, like my confidence is unshakable. But when it comes to this internet thing, I'm just not. I'm just like, there are times, and not all the time, but there are times, and it really frustrates me. And I feel like right now I'm in a very, try not to cry, hold on, maybe that shot will make me stop crying. I'm in a very sensitive mental state, right? It's been a little over a month since my dad died. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around all that. Like it's like I still, like last night I was asleep, night before last I was asleep, and I woke up in the middle of the, literally woke up in the middle of the night out of my sleep. I said, damn, my daddy literally died. And then I fell back to sleep. Like I remember it, but I immediately like fell back to sleep. And I mentioned in a previous video, like one of my insecurities has always been being a motherless child. It is just something I simply cannot explain. And being a motherless child from as young as I was, it is absolutely nothing. Like, you know, it's like, I know I was able to accomplish things. It's really nothing that you can say to get to the heart of the matter. It just is what it is. It's just one of those internal insecurities. Like from the age of 13 to constantly be in rooms where like you're having conversations, because that's what people do about like their moms, and you get to you like, oh, my mom's dead, you know, my aunt raised me, and then people immediately having this like sad and weird disposition. It's one of my insecurities. So it's just like a whole other thing, right? And I don't think it didn't really hit me until I was in college, and my best college friend Jerry, her mom passed away. This was like a little bit after we graduated undergrad, and her dad passed away when she was a young girl, so her mom was really like all she had. And when her mom passed away, it hit me like, oh my god, like if my dad dies, for as not close as we were, especially at that time, I'm like, I literally would have no, like, you know, watching her sort of like navigating life at 25 as like a parentless person, like it hit me like, and that's just sort of a fear that had been like ingrained in me in time. Anyway, I say all that to say, like, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, is that I'm already in a very sensitive time trying to work through emotions around my dad. And And it sort of allowed, it sort of opened this space for like self-doubt, insecurities, that type of stuff. And so I've sort of been in this space like I don't like the internet, like and it's not working anyway, right? Like my plan was for this to be a medium for something else, I don't know, to be a writer, to get into some sort of like commentary or like broadcasting, not like news, but like, you know, hosting, like something. Like I'm like, this is something that I always wanted to do. When I went to college, I, you know, was a journalism major. That didn't work out. I had to pivot to communications. I always, since I was a little girl, wanted to do journalism and entertainment. That's when I left my home at 18. That's what I like set out to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And things I just had to pivot because, you know, I just got to a point where I could not fail. So I had to do what I had to do to make sure that I ended up where I am now. And so for a long time, especially starting out, I was very like hopeful that, okay, this is going to be a medium, especially when I started to grow, right? I started off, you know, doing like personal style and stuff like that because it felt safe. I feel like I have a very great personal style. People tend to like what I wear, but that's not really who I like to that's the type of stuff that I like to share organically. But it felt more safe because I don't know, I just didn't want to be talking on the internet, whatever the case may be. But as soon as I started talking and sharing commentary and, you know, sharing my life and my style a little more organically, that's when it started to like grow for me. But it only grows in numbers and not opportunity, right? And so that's sort of what's been like, I'm like, what am I doing this for, right? Like, I'm not spending a lot of money to do what I do, but I spend currency in other ways. Like it takes time on my lunch breaks, instead of eating or reading or, you know, working on something else, I am setting up the camera to give my hot take on something, or, you know, I am, you know, out and I'm trying to film something to have content to post because, you know what I'm saying, I gotta feed the algorithm. And so I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna talk. Like I'm not even, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, other than it feels like I am wasting my resources, my time, my energy, my effort on picking up this camera and attempting whatever I'm attempting. Like it is not panning out to be the medium to something else. And I feel like I know a part of that, like I get really good momentum, and then I am a quitter. And I know a part of that is because I am a quitter. I get these grand ideas. I get these, and I have so many great ideas, but I can never really seem to like see them through. I don't know what that is. And a huge part of it is it takes money. If I were making money, I don't even have to be making a lot of money. I don't need to be making a lot of money. But if I were yielding dividends for any of the time and effort that I spent posting on YouTube, posting on TikTok, whatever, then I feel like that would give me greater capacity to do everything else that you know what I'm saying, I want to do, if I'm being quite honest, right? And for me, it's not all about money. Like I would take up like just opportunity, right? Because money will come, but like just opportunity. So that's something that I have to work on personally myself, is like follow through. But also everything that I want to do, it costs money. Creating a glassware brand, I need money. Creating scripted content, like not necessarily scripted content, but like my idea of doing like day in the lives of other people, not me, right? So going and following people around and filming them, that requires money. And other things that is not just currency, like time. And you know, if I were making money, maybe I could have time, because then I could readjust how I'm working, or you know, maybe adjust how I'm working, maybe not work a full-time job and get a contract job. And if I had extra money, then I could pay insurance, because the reason why I won't let my job go is because I need my insurance. I have skin. So it's like all of these things. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I just feel like being at 130,000 followers on a platform and having an empty inbox, like, no, like, it's very humbling. And typically I don't care, but like I said, I don't even think about it, to be honest, right? But I'm just in a very, like I said, sensitive situation. I am facing one of my biggest insecurities head on, and I'm having to do the thing where I constantly remind myself that I can only control the controllables. And I'm not even sure what my mind thinks, me being a motherless, fatherless, parentless person, I'm not even sure what my brain thinks that makes me, especially as a 42-year-old woman that under most circumstances I don't give a fuck about nothing. But it's just opening a way for like I'm constantly like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? I open my email, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm just like, what am I doing? And then I see people, and people are like, well, you need to do this, and you better lighting, and better do that. And I'm like, I see people, like, I'm literally seeing people get on the internet, open their camera, and just say shit, and they blowing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, but I don't want to. And they're like, you know, well, you're black, and you know, those are white people, and they have it. I'm like, I get it, I understand all of that, but this is me. I just need to vent. Like, I don't need you to tell me the obvious, Jan. I fucking know that. But sometimes I don't want to have to work twice as hard because I'm black to get what I want. I'm funny, I'm smart, I'm interested. In all the ways. I literally saw a video of that Jake boy, that white boy on TikTok. That white boy on TikTok, his name is Jake, and literally his whole shtick was like pretending to be an apple when an orange get picked. Like, show me Apple's reaction when the person keep picking oranges. And he would just like say something like, basically. Anyway, I'm seeing him do like legit commercials, right? Like, look, I literally saw like a sandwich commercial with him on TV. Like, I was watching Hulu because I got commercials on my Hulu. No shade, no tea. I don't pay for it. My phone pay for it. If they say you're gonna have commercials, you're gonna have commercials. But I'm like, he's not funny. He's not, like, I'm sorry to that boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? No shade, no tea. Not, let me say he's not funny. He's not more funny. He's not more interesting than some other people that I see get on the internet and do the same exact thing, and brands pay them dust, right? Am I being a hater? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But my daddy just died, and I get to be a hater maybe a little bit. But I'm just, like I said, I'm also frustrated, and I don't know. Like, I don't have a rhyme and a reason for this rant. I just need to openly, like, be frustrated, unsure, insecure, and a little bit of a hater without people stating the obvious back to me. I know I'm smart, I know I'm funny, I know I'm interesting, I know how the game goes, I know that black people have to work twice as hard, I know, you know, I know all the things, I know all of the things, but right now it doesn't, and I don't like the internet, and I don't be wanting to be on here. I don't be wanting to be on here. But I honestly I feel like I have this little sliver of hope that it will turn out to be the medium to something greater. And again, I feel like a lot of that is on me. I recognize the work that I need to do. I need to find a way to make, you know, myself more visible and all of that stuff to brands. I know that I personally have work to do. We ain't talking about that shit right now. We ain't talking about that. Don't come in my comments talking about that. I don't want to hear it. I just needed to vent. That's all. You know, I'm gonna go do what I can't control. I'm gonna go on this run. I ordered some groceries already. I cleaned my bathroom yesterday. I washed my sheets last night. You know, I got a book I'm reading. I need to finish my short story. Those are the things I can control. I'm gonna put my short story out next week. Hopefully it'll get done. And I'll let the chips fall where they may. Those are the things I can control. But just for, I don't know, about 25 minutes, I don't know how long this is going to be, I needed to incoherently get all of the things out of my head that have been bothering me, because I have been reclusive. I have been non-communicative. Like, I've been like, if you follow me on TikTok, I've been posting, but I've hardly been, it's mostly been for me to give myself to do. I haven't been as communicative back in the comments, because one person will say something that get under my skin, and then I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. I probably shouldn't be posting, but then like this fear of like, you gotta feed the algorithm, because if you don't feed the algorithm, when you try to come back, you're donezo, right? I haven't been answering phone calls. I haven't been wanting to hang out. I haven't been wanting to do anything, because I just am, I just got so much shit inside of me. And so I'm hoping, like, now I've said it. And I've said it to other people, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's like ripping the band-aid off and like saying it to other people for me. Like, once other people know, then I'm like, okay, like, it is what it is. I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm okay, because you just told other people. So what's the point of being embarrassed? So anyway, cheers to hopefully this being better. I'm gonna take this shot. I'm gonna put on some gear and I'm gonna go for a run. I thank y'all so much for listening, watching, being here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, or don't. Like, at this point, girl, whatever, I'm just here. And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Oh goddamn. Bye. Oh, that's strong. Bye.